You walk like no one else. Speak in your own rhythm. Then why do you imitate others when you create art? This video will answer that very question, show you how you are not at fault, and reveal how you can step into your creative power and start creating authentic art. Let's begin. Hi, I am Parul, founder of RestartART. I have a master's from Chelsea College of Art, London, and over a decade of creative industry experience. I help you to rekindle your creativity and confidently step into the artist you know you are. Not by copying pretty pictures, but by awakening your creative intelligence which you already possess. Whether you are a returning artist or just a beginner, this video is for you. If drawing and art were about achieving the perfect likeness, then Van Gogh's, Picasso's, or Rembrandt's work should look similar. But they don't. It is that uniqueness which makes their works so memorable and special. If uniqueness is the name of the game, then why imitation is so prevalent? And then how do you start creating your authentic art that shines with your creative brilliance? See, if you're trying to return to art, your default starting point is whatever is readily available around you. We lean towards social media as the quickest access to knowledge. We type in the search bar things like how to draw, beginner drawing tutorials, or how to improve drawing skills, etc. What comes up, we click and we try to learn from it. Simple? Easy? Not quite. It feels helpful, but it quietly works against you. Let me show you how. There is a lot of information out there, but very little structured learning. This is the first trap. Social media search results are driven by algorithm. It is not aiming to give you some kind of wholesome growth or meet you where you are at in your art journey. As a result, we learn things like how to draw this fur or hair, or how to draw these eyes, how to draw this animal or landscape or portrait, which color pencil, what color shade to use, what paper, canvas, brand, blah blah blah. The noise gives you this impression of learning new stuff and lot of variety. It spreads you wide but thin, does not give you the depth you deserve. This kind of learning is fragmented learning and never gives you the whole picture. Feels familiar? I explore art at much deeper level in my newsletters. They are basically art emails that explore not just drawing skills, but explore how an artist thinks, sees, and grows over time, along with simple art exercises that you can actually use. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. Like when you learn a language, you go through a sequence structure in order to grow. You climb the levels of alphabets, words, grammar, sentence structure, and then you can start to write your own story or poem. In the same way, there is a sequence structure to learning art as well, so that you can start creating your own authentic art. So, don't go for quantity, go for depth and quality. Here is the second thing that keeps returning artists struggling and stuck. We battle an internal chaos. Most returning artists do not struggle because of lack of talent. They struggle because they are bombarded with contradictory thoughts. Taught art versus self-taught art. Starting to learn art early on in life versus that heaviness around starting later in life. Natural talent versus learning art as a skill. Realistic or abstract. Then there are other aspects like criticism shrinks our confidence. Praise bloats us. There are confidence issues, comparison issues, the list goes on and on. These questions loop endlessly in an adult's mind. Whereas if you look at how a child participates in art, you see expression, not much care about how pristine is the end result. And that freedom is precisely why children's artworks feel more joyful and alive. All of this boils down to permitting yourself to create with that internal freedom and joy. Easy said than done. How do you tap into this creative freedom and shut off that nonsense internal chatter? The answer lies in understanding cerebral art versus visceral art. If I ask you, do you know what an apple is? You will look at me as if I've lost it. But please bear with me. The point I'm trying to make is so subtle that it easily slips under such quick judgments. So, if I ask you, do you know what an apple is? You will say an obvious yes. That knowledge is very useful in practical things like buying the apple from the market. But when it comes to creating art, the same knowledge blocks your expression. Wondering how? Well, when you sit to draw an apple, what you draw gets easily influenced by what you know than what you see in front of you. Seeing without any prejudgment or conclusion allows you to be present with art. Knowing blocks seeing. Seeing opens aliveness. This is exactly why so many artists feel as if something is missing in their art despite so much of practice. This non-judgmental way of seeing helps you to see your subject in absolute uniqueness without this pre-assumption of I know everything. Art humbles us in this way and helps us to see the world in fresh light. There are proper exercises to help you open up your perception and tap into your personal creative power. When you touch that live wire within, whatever you draw comes alive. Then you don't search for things like how to draw a tree or how to draw this furry cute bunny. Then you realize that you're no longer afraid of whatever is in front of you. I want to give you that very power. This way of seeing and drawing, where your perception comes alive and imitation falls away, is what I've been quietly developing inside RestartART. I'll soon be opening a short drawing course where you can learn how to draw with joy, confidence, and your very authentic art. If this resonates with you, the best way to stay contacted is through my newsletters. There I share deeper insights on art, artist mind, latest updates on RestartART, including this art course. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Until we meet next, boldly step into the artist you know you are. RestartART. It's good for you.